Should be live here, guys. Welcome in to the late night storm chase here. Welcome in, late night chase. We have the new streaming setup now. We have overlays and a radar. Hopefully that radar is all correct there. This is an experiment, so this is our first time ever trying anything like this, and we have a bunch of supercells now. We have now a bunch of supercells going up just to our west here. A big conglomerate of cells. I'll show you guys here. There it is. Just a big conglomerate of cells. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got like 10 storms going up. So those storms are going to definitely, here in the next 15 minutes, start to merge, get their act together here. And I'm in Del Rio, Texas. So I'm right on the border between Texas and Mexico. I think I'm literally about 5 miles away from Mexico here. So we're right on the border between the USA and Mexico. Here on Cinco de Mayo, it's still Cinco de Mayo for another 30, 40 minutes here, Central Time. So we might try to pull an all-nighter, guys, if the storms allow us to do so. But we got a bunch of storms firing up now. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. My road network out here is pretty poor. The terrain is not the best, especially to the north of here. The terrain south and east of here is okay. The terrain to the north of here is very hilly, mountainous, very, very rural area. So we're in a decent-sized town right here. Del Rio probably has 30, 40,000 people, and then the town across the river in Mexico has like 200,000 people or something like that. So this area right here is pretty populated. But the area that we're going to be going into to the east of here is not populated. So look, I'm going to have some service issues at some point. I'll have some service issues. Surely, I mean, given where I'm at, I'm going to have some service issues. We're going to have bad terrain. Just be ready for all that. Now, if the storms don't really fire to the south and they kind of move north into that mountainous terrain, I'm not really too interested in chasing anything to the north of here because, like I've mentioned, that terrain is just awful. I'd love to go. There's a highway that goes east out of Del Rio towards Bracketville and Uvalde. I'd love to go that direction towards Bracketville and Uvalde, and we don't have much lightning yet on these storms. These guys are just getting going, but I promise you, when they get going, they're really going to get going here. So probably in the next half hour, we're going to have monster supercells here with insane storm structure. We'll have these guys will be chasing us. We're not going to want to chase these storms. We're going to let these storms chase us. So we're going to stay out ahead of these storms quite a ways. I'm going to give myself space because I don't feel like getting the car all messed up with hail on a day like today. It's not the right day to do that. Also, I think the storm structure today is going to be the big show. So we'll see. It might be a little bit, we'll see. It might be hard to see out here because there's so much moisture. We could get some fog. But we'll see, guys. This could be a really intense storm chase here if things kind of fall right for us. So I'm going to point the car to the southwest where it looks like our storm is we maybe have the strongest storm. Here pretty soon we're going to start seeing some lightning off in that direction. Let me know what you guys think of the overlays. I'm going to definitely improve the overlays because I want to make this as appealing as possible. But right now there's not much lightning on these storms. They're moving to the north here, so we got to get one of these to turn to the right We got to get these storms to turn right. We got to get these storms to turn to the right over Del Rio and then move east so we can keep up with them. Because if they go north, it's not going to be impossible by any means, but it's going to be tough. These storms don't have a lot of lightning on them right now. I've noticed that even our storms to the even our storms kind of to the north didn't have a ton of lightning either. That fired up, but they fired up really fast. There's more stuff going up. So these ones are now going up as the forcing from our upper level trough kind of works in here. These guys are going up here. Really moist environment here. There's definitely a storm to watch near, there's definitely a storm to watch coming into, coming up towards I-10, towards McCamey, Texas, and Iran, Texas. That's going to be one to watch, coming up towards Iran and McCreary. I'll show you guys here. All the way over there, look at that supercell coming up into I-10, over to the west of us. I believe there's some other chasers on that one. I think maybe Connor. I'm not sure. I think maybe Connor was on that. It looked like, at least. Not sure. I don't know. Freddie McKinney was down here. I don't know where he went to now. He might be coming back down here. Not really sure. But these guys are maturing quick. I'll show you guys our radar loop. This radar loop I'm about to show you guys is only about 30 minutes long. So look at this. In the last 30 minutes, we had almost nothing. And look at all these fire up here. And like, look at how they just went in the last 15 minutes. We just had a little bit of lightning too. So look at how quick those storms just now went to our southwest. And I'm kind of locking into this cell right here. We have two cells right here just to the south and southwest of Del Rio. So that blue dot is me. There's Del Rio. And you can see those two cells that I have circled. If those two cells can do a merger and they can merge together, things are going to get pretty interesting pretty quickly here in the next 20, 30 minutes here. So guys, this is a really late night threat. This is a tornado threat from midnight on all the way, honestly, through the night. Like, I do think maybe it peaks from like midnight to like 2 a.m. or something. But even after 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, if one of these storms can turn to the right and head towards San Antonio, it'll have the chance to produce tornadoes. If it veers off to the north, more towards like Kerrville or Rock Springs or Camp Wood, if it veers off to the north, then it's going to go elevated, probably become outflow dominant. If this storm can stay south, kind of towards Uvalde or Bracketville or Spofford or even Batesville, Hondo, San Antonio, if it can do that, then it's going to have a tornado risk. Now, how tonight unfolds, you can see some lightning there on the left. How tonight unfolds is going to affect tomorrow's severe thunderstorm risk greatly. So tonight, if these storms kind of fizzle out and not really anything new forms tonight, then tomorrow might be locked and loaded for a pretty solid severe threat in southeastern Texas. Now, if these storms tonight all congeal into a big line and they just keep going all the way through, then tomorrow's risk is kind of going to be watered down quite a bit. What's up, guys? All right. Hopefully this feed is coming through pretty good here. I can't tell for sure because it's nighttime. It looks very blurry and very bad, so that's not good. We'll see though. If this new streaming setup does not work, I'm gonna fix it, guys. Don't worry. If we end up getting on something and it's like super blurry and super bad, we'll have to get that fixed. If it really looks that, if we get on a storm and I look in like 20 minutes or something and it really looks that bad, the feed, then and it really looks that bad or something. Why is it not focusing? Focus. If it really like looked bad, then I'd just end the stream really quickly, do a speed run, make a new stream really quick. I'd make a new stream, and then it gets blurry. Man, what is wrong with this camera? Make a new stream, and then we'll just do it how we had been doing it without the overlays. But there's some stuff I still have to get I still have to get a couple more parts for my computer at home, so that could be why it's a little bit blurry. But if it stays that way, then we'll fix it though, 100%. Okay, well that looks a lot better. Now that I zoomed in, it looks a lot better. You guys can see on the radar those storms are coming up from the southwest. So that radar picture isn't very clear. It's because I don't have a graphics card yet. So whenever I get that taken care of, gosh, every time I move the camera, it's like if I don't have my dash, it's like if I don't have my dash in the view of the camera, it like gets all messed up. But the second I like get my dash or like my windshield wipers into the view again, it like refocuses. It's weird. What's up, guys? How's it going? You're my hero, Ben. Thank you, Freddie. Yeah, I don't know why I don't know why the camera will focus when I have my dash on the camera, and then the second my dash gets out of the camera lens, it will like unfocus. I guess it just needs that to focus, maybe. All right, guys, we have some big supercells now going up. This is going to be go time here in the next 15 to 30 minutes. Look at this here. Look at this here. Just to the west of Del Rio, we have a cell, and then we have a monster cell developing to the southwest of Del Rio. If these things can turn right and move along that west to east highway over to Bracketville, then we're going to be talking about a big tornado risk with these. If they kind of go off to the north of Del Rio and they never really turn right, we're going to be talking about more of a hail and wind risk. And also, eventually, those storms will hit that outflow boundary to the north. I don't know where that boundary is. That might be something that I want to... Okay. It looks like our boundary is still kind of off to the north. It looks like we have a lot of moisture advection, so it's kind of helping our boundary not kind of impinge. But we could be getting a big time supercell here in the next 30 minutes here, guys. We're just playing the waiting game. I've been here in Del Rio for over, I've been here for over 7 hours now. I got here about 4:30 because I thought there is a chance storms may try to fire 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and they almost did. We did have a couple storms attempt to fire up in the daytime, but they never could quite get going. So we had to wait it out here. Freddie, I guess you're not chasing this one, huh? Freddie was up on a little supercell that went up. I talked to him and I was like, I don't like that storm. But he went for it. I don't know if it ever did anything or if it looked cool. I don't blame Freddie for not chasing this one because, I mean, it's, what time is it? It's 11:35. I mean, I don't blame them. I'm not that tired right now, guys. I got some caffeine too in the back if I need it. So here we go, guys. These storms are going to be getting going here soon. They're not okay, here we go. I think we got some splitting supercells, maybe. Okay. We're going to have to watch 2 cells here. How these develop. So I have 1 cell right here. So I have 1 cell right here, right on top of me. This is about to give us some pretty heavy rain here in the next few minutes. You can see those orange reflectivity colors on top of me. And then there's our other cell to our south, and that cell to the south right there, you can kind of see it's already got that supercell shape. Look at this. It's already kind of got that elongated bean shape to it. That's going to be the storm, I think. I think that's going to be our storm of the night. If I had to bet on it, that's going to be our storm of the night, the one with the elongated bean shape already. But we're going to have to wait it out and see. We have a couple more cells maybe firing. Maybe we'll get a merger. If we want to get a tornado tonight, we're going to need a really, really big storm. So our storm is going to have to be massive, okay? So we want a big storm with a lot of mass. If we have smaller storms, I don't really think we're going to have a huge tornado risk on these. If we have a big, massive supercell, then it can take advantage of that huge amount of wind shear, and it could go do something. So oh, looks like the Oklahoma City Thunder dropped game 1 against the Nuggets. Man, that Thunder team looked unstoppable all season. I don't know what happened to them this time. My Los Angeles Clippers lost to the Nuggets in a hard-fought 7 games. Either of those teams could have easily won it. The Nuggets ended up winning. Buckle up. It's going to be hectic. Heck yeah, it's going to be hectic. What's up, Mason? Mason Harris, ain't no quitting this guy. Hope it pans out for you. Thanks, Mason. Mason, I'm glad you finally got your photogenic tornadoes that you've been looking for, man. No one deserves it more. You've been waiting your turn. There's not a lot of lightning in these storms either, so that's not good because I'd love to be able to see them. We'll see, guys. We'll wait it out. I mean, if there's not much lightning, it's going to be tough to chase here. If there's not much lightning. Travel blessings to be... Yeah, hey, you too, Hurricane. Yeah, it's a weeknight. I don't know. Hopefully you guys aren't watching me instead of going to bed. But if you are, hey, I mean, I appreciate it. We'll see what these storms do, guys. Like I said, if in an hour or something, it doesn't pan out and these things don't look that good, then we'll call it. But like if there's a good looking storm, we'll chase it all the way through the night. As long as I have roads. If I don't have roads, then I'd rather not. I want to stay on the main roads, obviously. I'm not trying to go on dirt roads, not on a night like tonight, but if I have the roads and it's a good looking storm, we'll chase it all night long. Or at least until I get so tired. Our environment, we can go look at some of our environmental factors here. What we're looking at. We're about to see if these storms really go or not here. This is go time right here. We got to see the next 20 minutes is the most crucial time here for these storms. We're about to see what kind of storms they're going to be. I'm a little nervous that they're going to go to our north. A little bit nervous they're going to go to our north. And if that was the case, if they go to the north, they're not going to live for that much longer. They'll die out. I'm a little bit nervous about that. Wow, the significant tornado parameter. The significant tornado parameter is like off the charts. Off of the charts up there. Now, that's not your end all be all, by the way. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it than just the pretty colors and the high numbers. But there's a lot more that goes into it. But storms obviously like good environments. So this storm is getting really elongated and big. So we'll see. It's not... I'm not really, right now, as far as like growth wise, I'm not gonna lie, it's not too impressive right now. This storm is not really impressing me. It's definitely like not weakening, but it's at 40,000 feet. I'd want it to get up towards like 60. It's not really that impressive right now, guys, so we're gonna hold out and see what happens. We're going to hold out and see what happens on this thing. It took until midnight, but the risk is finally trying to pan out here. Took until midnight, but the risk is finally trying to get going here. Really big risk for hail, especially. That's really the main risk. But if we get the right kind of storm, if we get the right kind of storm interactions and the right kind of storm, we could certainly get a tornado threat easily. If we get the right kind of storm. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we have a really elongated storm, but I don't know how much it's actually strengthening. But maybe that upper level forcing might just now be coming in here, so it might need that extra kick. I mean, it does need that extra kick. There we go. There's some lightning. Our storm is going to be off that direction, just there to the let's see, I gotta get my like dash into the frame, or else it's gonna like, if I don't have the dash in the frame, it'll like not focus. So yeah, we're gonna need to see what these storms do. Like I said, if they turn to the right, I'll show you guys here on the radar. I'll go ahead and break down what I'm looking at as a storm chaser here. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at here. So we got our cell right here. So I've circled our cell. If this cell keeps racing off to the north like this, here's what's going to happen. It's not going to ever get rooted into the environment, and it's not going to be able to take advantage of the environment. And eventually it's going to go so far north, it's going to hit that outflow boundary, and then it's going to die. Or at least become elevated, maybe not die. Now, if our storm can kind of get itself together and get some more mass on it and turn to the right near Del Rio, then it's going to have a threat to produce tornadoes because it's going to be able to stay into the access of the moisture. So I'll show you guys what I mean by this here. I think maybe our storm is finally trying to get a little bit stronger. I hope it's trying to get stronger here. I don't want to drive down here for, nothing, right? So, but I'm worried that it's going to outrun the instability axis, and I'm not going to lie, to my north, we can chase it. We can chase it, and we can try to chase it. Like, it's not like we can't. It's just going to be a lot harder to chase it to my north than it would be to my east. We're going to need the highways to line up in the right direction here for us to chase down here, given the terrain. So, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here. So, here's our instability axis here. So, there's our instability axis here. And see those blue colors? That's kind of where the instability axis kind of wanes. So if this thing moves north into that, it's going to wane. But even down here, you do have some of that blue, some of that inhibition, but that storm would have room here. See? That storm has more room to move into that environment there. So we're going to need that storm to be able to turn to the right here. So we're just, I'm not going to lie, our storms kind of look like it's weakening a little bit. So I don't know what's going on. The one thing I will say, if storms today don't go big, or storms tonight don't go big, then tomorrow's storm will have a chance to go a little bit bigger because they'll have more environmental, what's the word? They'll have more space to work with. If stuff is pinched off towards the Gulf Coast, not much is going to happen. If they have a little bit more space tomorrow across central Texas, and we're just in the wait and see phase, guys. Like I said, if things don't go right, worst things worse, we give up on the day and we go to tomorrow. We tried. But basically, every single model has a big giant supercell right in this area within the next hour. Really elongated. What's up, Sheila? Frog, how's it going? Andrew Griffiths, Cook. Mason Harris, welcome to the Doppler gang. W. Mason Harris in the chat, welcome to the Doppler gang. If you guys don't already, if you guys have not already subscribed to Mason Harris, he's an up-and-coming chaser. So you can see that's our storm right there. You can see on that radar, that's our storm right there in the bottom left corner. Ben's coming in clutch. I'm like the only chase. Here's the thing. If something does happen down here tonight, I think I'm not 100% on this, but there might be the only chaser. Oh, dude, if this storm doesn't go, I'm gonna be so sad. I've put so much love into the Del Rio target today. I need it to pan out. All right, guys, we're just waiting right now. These storms are not doing really what they're supposed to do. Storms aren't really doing what I'd like them to do. Just gonna have to wait it out. It's late. It's late. Let's see. It's 11:52 now. It's 11:52. It's getting late. It's not past my bedtime, but it is getting late outside. We're right on the Mexico, United States border. I'm just a few miles away from Mexico. I don't have a passport on me, so I'm not going to be going into Mexico, that's for sure. If you're just now tuning in, make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out, helps get me into the algorithm. The other day we hit 6,000 subs there. 6,000 subs. We're almost up to 6,500 now. We had about 5,600 the other week, so we've gained almost 1,000 subs this week. So I'd say that's a solid week right there. Here we go. We're about to get some heavier rain. Oh, I like the updrafts to our west just a little bit better. I kind of wish I was over there. The thing is, it's kind of hard to get over there. We'll see, though. We might be able to get north. So, we'll see though, guys. We still got time. We got time to see what's going to happen here. But these storms are not, they're kind of just petering out here. They're not, yeah, they're dying. These storms are literally dying. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what's going on. Literally, every model had a big storm right here. You can see, we'll go through some of the, look at some of the models. Here's one of them. Look at that. Right there, Del Rio. Massive supercell. Let's see. Go to another model. They'll have big supercells right here. I don't know why they're petering out here and just kind of. Other one had a couple of big supercells right by Del Rio, maybe just slightly to the north of here. Once again, another model with a big chonker right there, right on Del Rio. Right on Del Rio. It's not happening. All the models, every one of them. HRRR is pretty consistent here on Del Rio all day. Maybe it moves slightly to the north there. I might have to try and go north. Dang it. Maybe not. We'll see. I don't think these ones are gonna make it though, so I might have to go north. Ooh. We can still get on a big storm here. I'm just gonna have to go north all the way to Sonora, maybe. Yeah, I don't like these storms. I think they're kind of petering out. So I'm gonna try to go north. Yeah, we're gonna go north to Sonora here. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. These updraft. Look, you can see the moon. That's not good. Well, I don't know if you can see it on the stream camera, but that's not good when you can see the moon. You're not supposed to be able to see the moon when you're trying to get storms to produce tornadoes. So it kind of just looked like stuff. Stuff. I mean, I showed you guys the radar. You guys saw those storms go from nothing to a big storm in like 20, 30 minutes. And then boom, they just done. That's how it was earlier. All right. Oh gosh. Well, I'm not that close to Sonora, but
then take the first right onto Veterans Boulevard.
I'm about an hour and 10 minutes away from Sonora, so
Half a mile, keep right onto US 277 North.
we're gonna have to do some driving here. All right, so here's the plan, y'all. So the deal is these guys down here are not firing. I don't think I necessarily picked the wrong target. They just happen to not really be firing right now. So sometimes that happens. So we're gonna head north. We're gonna head north towards Sonora, Texas. Okay, we might hit some rough patches service-wise. We might hit some rougher service patches here. I do have my cell booster on, so hopefully that helps us out. It'll give us a little bit of an extra kick service-wise, so hopefully that cell booster helps us out. But I'm gonna head north towards Sonora. Okay, if I get up to Sonora, we might have a big supercell. I think we probably will have a big supercell here when I get up towards Sonora. If we don't get up towards Sonora, then we'll go ahead and call it a night. And anyways, I have to go up here. Going up here is fine because it puts me in position for whatever I'm chasing tomorrow, whether that's the Texas Panhandle, maybe even north central Texas, maybe even it could be north central Texas, could be let's see here, could be southeastern Texas, far eastern Texas. Could be going home. If I had to go home, if nothing looked good tomorrow and I ended up going home, that would really suck. I don't really want to do that, but I guess it's in the range of outcomes if things don't turn out how we want them. We just go straight here for about 80 miles. So let's get it, guys. Let's go. We're gonna try to see something. I'm not giving up yet. I'm not giving up on hope. I still think we could see something great tonight. I'm not giving up, guys. These roads are kind of rough, so I apologize in advance. These roads are rough, and the service might. I'm on a highway, so I'll have a better shot at having service on this highway, but it might get rough. If I lose service for a few minutes, I'm going to be trying to get it as quick as possible. Already losing service right as we get out of town. repositioning here north of Del Rio, Texas, headed up towards Sonora. I'm on the hunt for some big old supercells tonight. We'll see if we end up getting them or not. We'll see if we ever end up getting those storms. It looks like we're gonna have some big old supercells up here in the next hour or so. If not, then hey, we tried, and sometimes the storms just don't work out, guys. So sometimes you try and the storms don't do their thing. But we're gonna put the effort in and at least give it a go. I didn't come down here to just, you know, come out empty-handed, so we'll see. Maybe some. Watch, I leave Del Rio and something's gonna fire up down towards Del Rio now since I left. But I don't think so. It looks pretty bleak to me. I could be wrong. Something could always fire up, but it looks kind of bleak. These roads don't seem like the kind of roads that hydroplane too, or that cause hydroplaning too bad. They're a little bit rougher, so hopefully we can get some better traction. There's a dead deer on the side of the road. It's not a good sign for me. Somebody's hitting something out here. Hopefully I'm not the one that's gonna hit anything. But it's always a little bit of an increased risk to drive out here at nighttime when there's so many animals out. So I'm just staying straight onto this interstate for a long while here. I'm just going straight here. Just repositioning, guys. We're repositioning here up towards Sonora, Texas. We have some supercells. Supercells are actually firing to our west. They're going to move to the northeast. I do think they're going to kind of struggle with that boundary, although you never know. Maybe they'll ride it. Maybe they'll turn to the right. If they can turn to the right, they'll have a legitimate chance of doing something. We got a lot of like pesky rain here. It's not too heavy, but it's also heavy enough to where like I do have to run the wipers. But here, since our supercell in Del Rio didn't fire up, this might be a good sign for tomorrow's threat as far as like southeast Texas goes. So if we have to, guys, we'll drive all night long to get over to southeast Texas. I won't have to drive all night long. I'll be able to sleep. Probably be able to get some car camping done. Now it's going to be pretty miserable, guys. It's so humid out here. The car camping is going to be absolutely miserable, but I don't know. It's so late. I don't know if I'll get it. I don't know if I'll get a like motel or anything, but we'll car camp for a few hours and then we'll see. If I wake up tomorrow and it just looks like complete trash, I'll just head home. But I'm not ruling out going up to like the Texas Panhandle or like northern Texas. It'd be a little bit out of my way, you know, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, if that's where the tornadoes are going to be, that's where the tornadoes are going to be, right? So go wherever the tornadoes are. And clearly today, I'm not where the tornadoes are. Although tornado all the way in North Carolina, almost by the Atlantic Ocean, it was all the way out east on the east side of the state. It was a very weak tornado, but it was actually a decent looking one. It kind of looked like the tornado I saw in Oklahoma the other week. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, these storms here are not going up either. Golly, we're getting screwed, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, National Recreational Area, Rough Canyon. Gosh, we don't want to go chasing Rough Canyon. That sounds miserable. That's what I was talking about when I was telling you guys about how the terrain was pretty rough. I was telling y'all about how the terrain was rough here, so that's not where we want to be, is Rough Canyon. Storms firing south of Arizona. Car camping is the way to go when you're on a budget. Yeah, Mason. I'm just a little guy, okay? I don't have the money to throw around to get hotels. I'm just a half-broke college student trying to live my dream out. So in a couple years, hey, we'll be looking. I'm confident. I'm very confident. In a couple of years, we'll be looking back, and I'll have the money to at least get a decent hotel. But I don't want to act like I don't have any. Like, I definitely have enough money to be able to get. If I really wanted to, I could get a motel or like a cheap hotel. Like, it's not an issue. But I would prefer, I'm young, I'm only 21, so my back isn't bad yet. So, you know, I'd prefer to do car camping if I can. So, on chase days where I might have time to kill, then I'll get a motel or a hotel, because then I can actually make it worth my while, right? If I'm at my hotel for like, oh, we got some deer right there. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but we got some deer right there, so I might even go a little bit under the speed limit just to watch it here. Because the last thing I want to do is hit a deer going 75. Speed limit out here is 75. That's how it is out in Texas. At least West Texas, it's like that. Now I will say, even when your storm setups don't pan out, there's always beauty in it. Okay, so today, so far at least for us, we'll see what happens, but so far our storm setup has not really panned out. But I got to experience a region of the world that I've never been to, so that was pretty cool. I've never been down to South Central Texas. Oh well, okay, I've been to like San Antonio, and I've been to Austin. So I guess that's kind of South Central Texas, but I've never been to like Del Rio, Fort Stockton, like that area. So like kind of I guess Southwest Texas might be more like Midland, Odessa, El Paso, Big Bend. So kind of like, yeah, kind of Southwest Texas, South Central Texas. We're kind of in between. So just kind of Southern Texas, like Rio Grande Valley, let's just say. I've never been down here before, whatever region you want to call it down here. I've never been down here. So I think that was pretty cool. I got to kind of explore down here. I didn't run into any you know, illegal smuggling anything or any. Terrain, and it was really beautiful. North of Comstock. I don't know if anyone knows where Comstock, Texas is. It's a tiny little town on Highway 90, but just to the north of Comstock, there's these crazy just hills and valleys and rivers, and since this area's gotten some rain, the rivers are full, right? So it's really pretty. Pretty out here, guys. I love this area. I love this area. West with the $2. Pedal to the metal. Thank you, West, for the $2. I appreciate it, bro. Oh, I accidentally had my brights on when I turned off my brights at the last second as I was passing that guy. But sometimes it's easy to forget, you know, when you have your brights on and you haven't passed a car in a while, you just forget to turn them off. Now that car I remembered, so there we go. I didn't blind them. Ben, are you streaming directly from the YouTube app? No, Mason. No, Mason, I'm not. I'm streaming through Larix and then broadcasting that to a home computer. So this is my first time ever doing it this way, and it's working. I think it's working pretty well. I need to get a graphics card for my computer so the graphics look a little bit better. Need to get a graphics card for the computer so the graphics look a little bit better, but that's about it. Other than that, the setup's working pretty much how I want it to, so it's good news. We didn't have any failures. We got some cops up here. I see some blue and red lights there. I got some lightning off to my west where those storms are. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys, okay? And you guys know, if you know my philosophy, you know I'm always honest, okay? I don't like that. Oh my gosh, there's like a herd of like 10 deer right there. So we got to be really careful. Right now, all the deer are kind of chilling, okay? They're kind of just chilling on the side of the road, but you never know when one of them's going to go crazy and try to, you know, jump in front of the car. The deer will do crazy things. What is this? What is this right here? What is going on? Is this like a border patrol checkpoint or something?
Hello.
What's up?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Just yourself?
Yeah.
Where you heading to?
Just heading north. I'm a storm chaser.
Storm chaser?
Yeah, so.
Do you mind moving these pillows around?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Alright, it's a mess back there.
Was that a shovel?
Yeah.
You mind if I look underneath the seat?
For sure. Sorry about the mess, man.
No people under there or nothing?
No.
Is the storm supposed to be bad or?
Well, I was thinking they were going to form down towards Del Rio, but they kind of fizzled out, so it doesn't look like it's going to be as bad as it could have, so.
Why do you have so many spare tires?
What?
So many spare tires. In the very back?
I just have a couple back there. I have the spare, and then I have a regular sized tire back there.
Is that gauge tires go, or? mind if I just move them around?
Yeah, for sure.
Where are you from?
Southwest Missouri.
You came all the way down here for the storm?
Yeah, I've been down here for a while, so.
What have you been doing down
Southwest towards Branson area or?
More towards like Joplin.
Joplin, gotcha.
But yeah, it's not too far from Branson.
here? So what brought you down to the road?
Chasing storms.
Oh, you just been here just doing, how long you been down here for?
I've only been down here a couple days, but last week I was down towards Lubbock area. So I've been down in this West Texas quite a bit.
Was it just like the hotbed where all the storms are? Or
Yeah, the last couple weeks that's how it's been, so yeah.
where are you heading now?
Just north up towards I-10. Maybe there's some storms to the west there kind of headed that direction, so stuff down here kind of fizzled out.
Alrighty. Well, have a good one.
You too, man. Oh my gosh, guys. I know that guy is just doing his job as the border checkpoint, but that's ridiculous, bro. Asking me like a million questions. Hey, they're trying to make sure I'm not smuggling drugs, I guess, but we got to watch the deer out here, too. But like, okay, like, I don't know. I guess they're trying to ask you the same question 4 or 5 times to see if you have a different answer, you know? I guess they're trying to ask you the same question 4 or 5 times, you know, because they want you to slip up, right? But yeah, I mean, and here's the thing: they probably see my car, okay, Missouri license plate. You know, a lot of times, a lot of drugs get smuggled, you know, with the out-of-state license plates. It's a pretty normal thing to happen. Pretty normal. Those out-of-state plates, you know, and then you know, since I've sometimes I'm sleeping in the car, I got pillows and blankets, you know, in the back seat, and the car's a mess. So anytime they see a messy car, they're like, okay, this guy might be trying to hide stuff in the car. So they had all the dogs there. They had like 5 border people with a bunch of dogs, or maybe a couple dogs. So I mean, they're locking down the border now. At least they've been locking down the border recently, especially. But like, I've never been down here, so I didn't know what it's like to get stopped by Border Patrol. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. You know what, like, as much as I could complain about like them stopping me like that and just like badgering me, I'm glad that they're doing that, because like, obviously we don't need drugs coming up. Drugs from Mexico is probably like one of the biggest, it might be the biggest killer. I don't know, someone would have the statistics on it, I'm sure, but that might be the biggest killer of anything in the US. And then he's like, oh, is this a shovel? He's probably like, why does this guy have a shovel? But no, I still have a shovel in here from when I was chasing the winter storms back in, the winter. I guess obviously back in the winter, when we were chasing the winter storms, we had the shovel in here, and I just still have it in here. So that guy probably sees a shovel. He's like, what the heck? Why does this guy have a shovel? Hey, Justin. Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously it's late. I mean, obviously, guys, it's late, and they're bored, and they're doing their job. So I get it. You know, I guess if someone had drugs, right? That's what the dog is. The dog would, instantly be able to, sniff it out. So. At first, I thought it was some road work going on, and then I was like, okay, it makes sense that they're checking at Border Patrol. That's the only one I've seen today. That's the only border checkpoint I've seen down here. Freddie went through one tonight. You got grilled more than he did. Well, in fairness, Freddie's car is a little bit more professionally suited up to be a chase car. I know, Deborah. Like, dude, I have spared, 2 more deer. I have never seen so many deer on this. I'm freaked out about these deer. I've never seen so many deer as on this highway. Now, I'm sure the deer are kind of conditioned to know, like, hey, maybe don't jump in front of the car, but you never know. Yeah, Freddie, you were not lying about the deer on this this highway. This ain't an interstate, but on the highway. Freddie was not lying about the deer. Yeah, dude, like I have spare tires, bro. Like, I'm a storm chaser, man. I lose tires more than the average person. I need spares. But, I'm sure a lot of people inside of it to where you couldn't even see it unless you manually I don't know if you guys have ever watched those shows where they I don't know if you guys ever watched the cop show where they'll get people on the traffic stop, and then they'll have the dogs come up, and the dogs will start sniffing the door. And obviously you can't see the drugs because they're inside of the door, so they have to take the door apart. And, you guys know what I'm talking about. That's kind of wild. Or people who put them under the car. Or the craziest thing is when semi trucks or box trucks will try to smuggle them on in the top of the car in a little secret compartment. And there's some crazy ways that people do it. Dude, there's a lot of deer. I think I've seen 20. No exaggeration. I've probably seen 20 deer. Someone needs to do some deer hunting. I guess deer season's kind of gone now. But they need to issue they need to issue a lot of permits for next year down here. I've never been deer hunting in Texas. I don't know how good the deer hunting is down here. I know in Oklahoma it's kind of rough. At least where I've been. Sure seems like there's a lot of deer though in Missouri, where I'm at. Kansas is the one state where I always see the most. But I have never seen so many deer on a highway in such a short stretch of mileage. It's kind of freaky though. And I've seen 2 or 3 dead ones, maybe 2 or 3 dead ones. So a lot of South Texas is filled with a lot of all right. I guess. Guys, and I don't have service again. Go close to this town here. Just a few more. We're back. Are we back? Are we back? Okay, we're finally getting close to this town of Sonora, Texas. We're only about 7-8 miles from the town, so we might finally be getting some service back. Guys, that is probably the biggest service hole I've ever been in my entire life, and I'm not sugarcoating. I don't think I had service for 50 miles. I apologize about that. That was rough. Earlier I was on I was on a highway about 40 miles to our west. So hopefully we're good on the service. Hopefully we don't lose it again, which we probably just lost it again. So it's rough. Up ahead. I can see the lights. Okay, I think we got some kind of service. There's no way we don't have service in this town. Like, that's insane that we wouldn't have service up in a town with at least 1,000, 2,000 people. What it looks like to me. And so we're gonna go into I-10. We're gonna go into I-10 here, and we're gonna try to find a storm. There's a lot of lightning off to my southwest. I don't know, guys. It looks really foggy, so odds are the storm might look pretty ugly. We're not gonna be able to see it. What a rough chase, guys. What just a rough chase this was, man. It's okay. Sometimes it happens, but what a rough chase. You gotta have the rough chases to have the prosperous ones. That's how it always goes, right? So, guys, it's pretty foggy out here. I don't know if we're even gonna be able to see this storm if we go up to it. So I'm gonna make a decision here in a few minutes. I'm up in this town. Like, if it's foggy, we're not going to be able to see the storm unless we're right up next to it. Even then, we wouldn't be able to see it very well. Alright, so we're heading into some Sonora, Texas. We're going to be right on the interstate here. our storm is not going to be a tornado producer. Just being brutally honest, guys. But we could get some storm structure out of it. So hey, you know what? I might as well drive 15 minutes west of here and see what it looks like. So I might stop at a gas station here in a minute, just regather myself. That was kind of stressful there. I was like eagerly waiting for my service to come back, and it just never did. You know, I thought at least my service might be kind of choppy, like it might be kind of on and off, you know, like it'll come on for a few minutes and it'll go back off, maybe go on for 5 minutes, go off for 10, something like that. But dude, the service just like stayed off. Like it never even, like it wasn't like that. It just didn't come back on. Like the service came off and it stayed off. So hey, I don't know. It is what it is, but that is probably the worst service dead zone I think I've ever been in. There's some bad ones out on the plains, but man, that's bad. And I mean, it makes sense. Nobody lives there, but you'd think there'd at least on that highway, you know, there's a good amount of ranch. Like, there's no towns, but there's a good amount of ranches. I don't know. You'd think in the year of 2025, you'd have a little bit of service on that highway. And I had my booster on. I had my cell booster on. Could you imagine if I didn't have my cell booster on? It would have been even worse. I'm just glad we had service for that Border Patrol encounter. That was kind of exciting. So this is a decent sized town. I bet there's more than a few thousand people. I don't know, someone in the chat, what's the population of Sonora, Texas? Sonora. Sonora. Maybe Sonora. I don't know. Someone look at the population of that. There's caverns in Sonora. Okay, we're gonna head up towards the interstate here. We're at least gonna go west and just see what there is to see. Maybe there's some action for us, maybe not. I don't know. Hopefully no more Border Patrol. I think we're past that. I think we're a little bit too far north now. You know, you're in a small town and they've got a Lowe's market. It's not Lowe's, like the outdoor and construction super center. That's Lowe's market, like food, like a grocery store. Okay, let's see here. I just gotta head up towards I-10 here. We're not gonna turn there. We're gonna turn here. You can see the lightning off into the distance, guys. Yeah, this is a decent little town. They've got a few banks here. Oh, wait. Hold on. Maybe I went the wrong way. Let's see. I bet this town has a few thousand people in it, probably. This seems about that big. Little downtown tour of Sonora. It doesn't look like it's dying by any means. It definitely looks like it's doing all right. It's doing all right for a little town like this. Whenever I'm on the road, when I go through these little towns, I try to guess how many people they have. Sorry, we're gonna do a little bit of a circle, guys. Sorry. I try to guess how many people these little towns have. It's a little game I like to play. I try to guess how many people a town has, and a lot of times I'm way off. But some towns look bigger than they are population wise, and then of course some towns you don't think are as big, and then you're like, dang, do they really have that many people here? But okay, here we go, up towards I-10. Hopefully, I'm gonna stop at a gas station real quick here. I don't know, guys. It's pretty foggy, but we're gonna have You can see the lightning starting to get going here. At the very least, we're going to get a lot of lightning. That's all I can promise. Maybe we'll get some nice storm structure. A lot of lightning. I'm not going to play around in the hail. Not tonight. It's not a night to play around in the hail here. But yeah, we got a gas station up here. There should be another one. They're like a... Look at this one. Stripes. Maybe we'll go to the Sunco. Here we go, the Road Ranger. I'm going to turn around here and go to the gas station real quick. But you can see the lightning off to our west here. There's a not Motel 6, Super 8. That's the kind of place I would want to stay in if I stayed anywhere. It was like a Super 8. We're going to go to the Road Ranger. I think that's what, yeah, Road Ranger, that's what it's called. I drove through this town earlier today, so I've already been in Sonora. But here we go. We're trying to get back onto the storms. What's up, West? Hope everything's doing all right for you. 220, 2,500. Oh, I said a few thousand people, 2,000 or 3,000. So, hey guys, I wasn't too far off there. I was pretty spot on the town size here. Looks like Tumbleweed and Red Dead. I don't know about that. I feel like we're a little bit more advanced in this little town than Tumbleweed. I think Tumbleweed's a little bit more late 1800s type of town. We're not there here. That's not going on in this town. Oh my goodness. I'm getting tired. If this storm looks good, then we'll keep chasing it. If not, then we'll get on the storm. We'll see what it looks like. And is this place closed? No way. It could be. Maybe it is. It looks almost closed to me. There's no one here. No one at this gas station, man. Well, it says open. It says open 24 hours, so I'll at least go tug at the door and see. Sometimes these places, you know, it says they're open 24 hours, but for whatever reason they're not. I don't know. This one doesn't feel open. Well, I'll be back in just a minute, guys. Ah, so it is open. I was just the only one there. Like, there's not a soul here but the person working the front desk, so. Dan's Famous Pizza. This Road Ranger, that's kind of crazy. All right, y'all, here we go. Let's see if this storm has a kick to it. Let's see if this guy has a kick to it, or if it's super weak. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna look at where I want to go here. We're gonna get some lightning here. Background. There we go. I wonder if anyone's on. Oh, there's an enhanced risk for tomorrow. 10% hatch for tornadoes across far southeastern Texas. Houston, College Station. Man, I think College Station, maybe Austin's on the edge. So we'll kick east over to like the Austin area tonight. Once we're done with these storms, and we'll chase those tomorrow real hard. I'm just still not that confident in tomorrow doing much. We'll see, guys. It could, and it probably would. It just depends on how this overnight convection. It depends on how the overnight stuff goes. It depends a lot on how this overnight stuff is going to go. All right, so we're going to head towards this storm near just to our west. And honestly, guys, we'll see what it looks like. If it looks good, we'll keep if it looks good, we'll keep on it. If it doesn't, then we'll just be done with it. But let's see what it looks like here. Let me get a route. I don't need to be running those anymore. We're just gonna we're just gonna go a little bit to our let's see, we just gotta go a little bit to the west.
Starting route 2 branch to Market Road. Starting route to 76943.
So here's our storm here. I'll show you guys. We got a supercell right there. There it is. There's our supercell just to our west. Like I said, we got to get up towards Sonora. I swear, if we lose connection on the interstate, I'm gonna be pretty. Okay, right? Like, it's the interstate. Surely we'd get connection on that. Oh, whoa! That was a weird exit. What the heck? Like, that's a weird exit. It's like a straight up turn. Okay, I've never seen an exit like that. But we'll get on that. Now we're going west here. The lightning, as we go west here, this lightning's gonna really pick up. These semi trucks are eventually gonna figure out if this storm is packing a punch or not. We're not gonna go figure that out, or we're gonna go figure out what the storm looks like. We're not gonna go figure out how big the hail is and all that kind of stuff, because, well, I don't feel like risking denting the car or smashing the windows over something like this. So here we go, guys. We're finally getting onto the storm here. If you guys want to say something in chat, ask me a question, I'm going to be looking at it here, so this is your chance. We do have a 10% hatch for strong tornadoes tomorrow, so that means we're probably going to go try and chase it. Now, this isn't every time, but from my personal experience, setups like tomorrow oftentimes end up doing nothing. They end up doing nothing. That's usually how it goes. So, if I wake up in the morning and it really does not look good, I promise you I'm not going to be hesitant to just call it and go home, or go up to like North Texas and maybe try to get a supercell up in North Texas there. How blurry are we there? Not too bad. There we go. That's fine. Guys, the storm might just be completely foggy. We might not really be able to see it. I'm not sure yet. We got to get a little bit closer to it, and then I'll have a good idea of if we're going to be able to see it or not. We still got to watch out for deer here on the interstate. Usually there's not as many out on the interstates, but still got to watch out. Yeah, tornado. Yeah, there's not going to be a tornado. I mean, it's possible. Like, there's a small chance, but I would say it's very low at this point. See what this storm looks like here. It's hooking a lot. I mean, it's got a big old hook on it. So this storm might look quite cool. We'll see. It's actually trying to like turn right again. It's a weird shape, but we'll see. Alright, now we have more storms. Now storms are trying to develop. I kid you not, storms are trying to develop down towards Del Rio. I kid you not. I swear, if a storm goes down towards Del Rio, where we sat for 7 hours, I don't even know what I'll do anymore. I don't even know what to do at that point. Ah, buddy, you're not passing like that, no. Dude, it's trying to fire where we sat for 8 hours. And my target, Del Rio, is finally trying to fire something off. There's no way. Well, it's closer to Comstock. Oh my gosh, dude, I mean, I'm not getting back down to that storm. I don't want going pretty crazy right now. Our storm is going pretty nuts. It's gonna be hard to see our storm. It might be kind of grungy. The mezzo should be crossing the interstate in front of us here soon. So we'll have to find a view somewhere, and then it might just be too foggy, guys. I think it might just be too foggy. We might not even be able to see anything on this thing. Like, you can see all the lightning and everything, but I don't know if we'll ever be able to actually see the storm because it's so foggy. It's only 5 miles away from us or so at this point. I'm going to find a decent spot up here to just stop it. Problem is we don't have a turnaround on this interstate, so we'll have to go all the way. We'll have to go all the way to this exit. Actually, we do have a turnaround right up here. So we do. If we want to turn around, if we want to turn around, it's right up here. So that's good news. We're gonna get nasty and see what this thing's all about here. Have a turnaround in a mile. Okay, there's we go. We have a base I can see now. Some kind of base. You can't tell what's going on. It's grungy. You can see the base though. It might be totally rain wrapped back there, guys. Oh boy. We might have to run in a minute. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a beast of a rain-wrapped storm right there. Golly. It's getting closer to us really quick too. Wow. There we go. There it is. There's our storm right up there. Here we go. We're already getting the heavy rain now. Guys, dude. We don't want to get overtaken by the storm. But we also want to be able to see it. Gosh, there's so much instruction too. Okay. Our hook would be up there. I mean, if there's a tornado, it would be up in there. But I don't know. Well, maybe not. Well, not necessarily. It could be right in front of us. It's buried in the rain, guys. So this is an ugly storm. I don't really want to chase this storm, to be honest with you. It's ugly. It's buried in the rain. It's high-based. It has a big mezzo on it, but... Oh, gosh, that's not saying much. Yeah, dude, this storm is just ugly. It's just not... You know, it's just not anything that's worth really, like, chasing, like, past, 1 a.m., right? Like, if I'm chasing something past 1 a.m., I really want it to be a... This storm just isn't it. So, dude, if something goes up towards Del Rio, I'll never forgive myself for leaving. But there we go. I think. Oh man, I think we're gonna do the. Yeah, guys, I think here's what we're gonna do. Okay, chat. I know I finally got on a storm, but like I said, if the storm doesn't look very good, I mean, there's no point in being out here chasing the storm at. If it was like 10 p.m., it's one thing, but at like 2 in the morning almost, You know what I'm saying? There's no point in chasing the storm at 2 in the morning if we can't even see what's going on. Like the storm, and I also, if I'm being honest with you, I think the storm's weakening too, so. I think the storm's kind of weakening. It's on its way out. Well, let's see here. I'm going to head back to Sonora. Maybe our storm will strengthen, and then if it strengthens, we'll go north of Sonora, and we'll intercept our storm again. If not, then we'll probably just head east on I-10 and get out ahead of things for tomorrow. Oh, there's still a low-end chance something fires down towards Del Rio. I really don't want to do that again. I really don't want to go back down south. If something really, really went down towards Del Rio, maybe we could do it, but I don't think it will. There's a few targets tomorrow that we could consider. Looks like we're probably not going to have. Might just have to go towards the eastern. Shoot. What's up, everybody? If you're just now tuning in, we were on a storm. The storm didn't look that great, so now we're off of the storm. Only my radar is updated. But we still have some storms here. If you're just now tuning in, we're near Sonora, Texas on I-10. We still have some storms here. I'm kind of debating if I want to keep chasing this into the night. I mean, it's already 2 in the morning, guys. I don't know. Kind of debating if I would want to keep chasing this into the night or if I just want to get in position for tomorrow, which would be like Austin. I'll probably just start headed towards like Austin, Texas, which is a ways away here. It's probably 3 hours away. I don't know if I'd be able to get to Austin tonight, but start heading that direction at least. If something fires down towards Del Rio, you know, it is what it is, man. I mean, dude, we sat in Del Rio waiting for something to fire for 8 hours. I mean, we sat 7-8 hours. We sat in Del Rio just waiting for stuff to go, and it just wouldn't go. And then the second we leave Del Rio, it starts to try and fire. Now it may not end up going because I don't know why my radar isn't working. It may not end up going. This is the golden hour, dude. Mason, I don't know. I don't know, my radar's like not updating. I don't know, it's weird. Bright, yeah, it is pretty bright. Guys, that storm, here's why I don't want to chase the storm. I'll tell you why. Right now, the dew point and the temperature are like the same. So the dew point is about 60 degrees and the temperature is about 62, 63. So those dew points and those temperatures are almost touching, which means that the storm is going to be really grungy and foggy. So if you can, I don't know if you guys can tell, but if you can see the lights on the other, I don't know how good you can see it on the phone camera, but you can see the lights on the other cars. Do you see how there's like kind of like a foggy mist above some of the lights from the other cars? Well, that tells me that's obviously it's foggy outside, which means it's going to be hard to see the storm if you have like a fog blocking the storm. So right now, that's what we're dealing with here. It's just difficult. It's just difficult, man. It's just difficult to chase a storm that you can barely see. And it's not very enticing to me, at least. So we'll give it some time. I'll give it a few more minutes. I'm gonna give down towards Del Rio a few more minutes just in case it wants to blow off a massive supercell down there. I could blast down there and get there within the hour. But you got to remember, I would lose service for an hour, so the stream would basically go dead because we already did that. And then there's so many animals, deer, whatever, down there. It's kind of dangerous. It's a dangerous drive all the way down there. So that really would not be an ideal thing to do. Wait, is the radar working? It looks like the radar is working now, maybe. No, I don't know. Yeah, it might be working. I'm gonna zoom it out a little bit more when I get the chance. There's a lot of lighting on the storm, and it's got some mid-level rotation, but I promise you, it's mostly above the surface. No way that Del Rio target goes this late. Absolutely no way, right? That's what you'd think. But Del Rio is weird. It does weird things. It's got its reputation for a reason. But up in Sonora, I'm going to stop at the exit up there and reassess what I want to do. Stuff down there, it's kind of like down towards Del Rio, but it's kind of struggling. It is kind of struggling. Look at then the updrafts don't even look as vigorous as they did early. Now I'd give it some more time, but yeah, they don't even look as vigorous as they did early on, just a couple hours ago. We got cliffs on each side of the interstate here. That's crazy. Get off on this exit, figure out what I want to do, and if I'm not going to keep chasing this thing, I'm going to brief you guys on tomorrow's risk. I'll brief you guys on what I'm looking at tomorrow, storm-wise. We'll do a little briefing on tomorrow, what I'm looking at, and to be honest, from a storm chasing perspective, if I had to be honest with you, I'm not too excited about chasing tomorrow. That doesn't mean there won't be tornadoes or that we won't see tornadoes. It just means that things look a little bit messy. They look a little bit grungy, again. Stuff like that. Doesn't mean we won't see tornadoes. We might see a strong tornado even, but just to get kind of away from that light. There we go. Sit right here and just watch. See if there's anything. We'll get a light. We'll get some light to show here. But we'll get a nice little lightning show here, guys. So chat, if you have, I'm going to be in chat for a few minutes. If you guys have any questions you want answered, whatever to be safe. Thank you, Wendy. Patience and chasing is vital, but sometimes hard. Yeah, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Chasing requires a lot of patience, and you have to have a particular mindset. You can't get rattled easy. You know, there's a fine line between like sticking with your target through the end and then like deciding when like, hey, it's time to adjust and pick a new target. It's been a bad night for all the chasers. Yeah, all the chasers. Yeah, we didn't see much tonight. It's been a rough night. It's been a rough night for all the storm chasers. You're not wrong there. Time to head to Austin. Yeah. I wonder how far Austin is. I got to look at this. That'll help me make my decision. Where's all the light? What happened to all the lightning on this thing? Where'd it go? We're like looking right into the storm. I don't see any lightning. It just had a ton of lightning on it. Where'd it go? What the heck? It's gone now. Yeah, our storm is kind of moving north and dying. Done. It's not. The tornado chances are on it are kind of dying, not the storm. The storm itself might have some more life in it. But it's really, gosh, it's really windy outside. Yeah, the storm is elevated. Those updrafts near Del Rio are trying to converge and merge. They've kind of struggled. They've tried to do that multiple times, and each time they've struggled. So I don't know if this time is going to be the time they do it. If it is, oh well, man. I don't know. I'm probably better off not being down there, to be honest. I bet Austin's at least 3 hours away. Hopefully not too much farther than that. Let's see. Austin, Texas. 3 hours and 3 minutes, so kind of right on the dot there. If we can get to Austin, I'll have a chance to sleep in the car maybe or something for a few hours. And then, dude, tomorrow, like the chase tomorrow, it's not going to be like today where we're waiting till 11, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., 11:30. Like, dude, if tomorrow happens, we could have tornadoes by lunchtime. It's one of those days where we could have tornadoes by lunchtime. These mesocyclones are not right. Yeah, these mesocyclones are not right because the storm is ingesting cold inflow. So the temperature right now is only 63 degrees, so that storm is not ingesting super warm air. That storm needs to be in like a 70 degree temperature, probably 70 to 75 degree temperature to really do something. Get some rest. I might not make it all the way to Austin. I wonder what are some towns on the way there. Let's see here. Junction, I don't know. That seems like a safe town. Fredericksburg. I'm sure all those towns are not bad. I could, if I had to stop in one of those towns and doze off, I could. Let's see. Anyone? Yeah, I mean, I will definitely make it. Let's see. I'm 50 minutes away from Junction. I could probably easily make it past Junction. Fredericksburg is about 2. I don't know. They could probably make it to the west side of Austin. Easily make it to the west side of Austin in like a couple, 2.5 hours. So I have family that lives all the way up in Georgetown, to the north of Austin. But yeah, I wouldn't want to drive all the way. By the time I'd get there, it'd be like, by the time I'd get there, it'd be 5 in the morning. So I don't know. I might head kind of towards like, looks like that route might be fat. It might be fat. Yeah, it might be a better route to go up towards like Llano and Mason. It might be faster to go up towards like Georgetown or Round Rock, with the way the highways are. Golly, I cannot talk. Marble Falls. Some of those places, they all seem like Texas Hill Country is pretty safe, I think, as far as crime goes. Usually when I go there, I feel safe. I feel safe dozing off. Let's see, guys. All right, let's see what tomorrow's looking like. Hold on here. So let me brief you guys in on tomorrow, and then I'll go ahead and let's see. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know. Do you guys want to chill? We can chill in the chat for a little bit. I can answer some questions. If you guys are bored, I mean, I don't know. I have 80 people in here. I mean, you guys might be able to come up with some good questions in there. What's up, Wyatt? The more east, the more safe it is. I would tend to agree, bro. I would tend to agree on that. You may be flooded tomorrow, get to your destination. I mean, the interstates and the highways aren't going to really flood much, but some of those back roads are 100% going to flood. I don't know, yeah, maybe we'll... I don't know, we had a pretty good stream. It kind of got ruined, obviously, when we didn't have service for... Obviously, we didn't have service for an hour, so that kind of messes up the algorithm, you know. Whenever, like, my YouTube is, like, black for an hour because I didn't have service, it messes with the algorithm. If you guys are just tuning in, we're winding down here. We're about to brief tomorrow. So here we go. It's already 2 a.m. So on a not even a weekend. So here we go, guys. This is tomorrow. Let me get to where you guys can see that. So you can see that yellow area with the little hatch lines. That's your area that you could have a stronger tornado threat. So from the north side of Houston all the way over to Austin, Waco. Just to the tip, I believe College Station. I think College Station's somewhere in there. So that's where we're looking at tomorrow for that stronger tornado risk, at least according to the Storm Prediction Center. And they could always kind of tweak that risk a little bit. So that risk is I'm actually kind of surprised. They put that in there because that's kind of uncertain to me. I'm not really sure about that. Now, I think if you looked in the morning, 7, 8 a.m. and kind of saw everything coming together, you could. So there's a 5% all the way up to Dallas, almost down to San Antonio. And then see this little arc. Sorry about the shaky phone. This little arc up into the Texas Panhandle. I think up here is a sneaky target for a couple of tornadoes. Just to the east of Lubbock, Plainview. So, Wichita Falls. I think that up there could be a sneaky target. So let's look at what our simulated radar could look like. We'll look at a model here. None other than the HRRR. I wonder how... The problem is, if models don't model the current convection correctly, then they don't know what they're doing on the next day, so... Well, let me pull this up here. Okay. So the HRRR has a bunch of... It just has a mess of... See that? There's Houston. You can see Houston down there. But the HRRR just has a mess of supercells across East Texas. And then we'll pan it out a little bit more. And so you can see that... I mean, that's... If this happened, I don't even think I would chase. I'm being honest with you guys. I don't even think I would chase. Like, I don't even think I would chase that. That's disgusting. I would not want to chase that. That's garbage. Now I think it could look better than that, but if something like I'm just saying, if that hypothetically did happen. And then I think our setup up in the Texas Panhandle is kind of dwindling away. So who knows? Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow near Austin and I'll just decide, you know what? I'm better off going home. I'm better off just biting the bullet, going home. You know, it'd be a failed chase trip. You know, sometimes that happens. You gotta have the failures to have the successes, right? That's how it goes. So maybe tomorrow we wake up, it looks really good. So I would say there's probably a good chance that we end up streaming tomorrow. A good chance. Not guaranteed, but a good chance. I'd say better than not. There's a small chance we don't, though. But let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and start getting stuff set up here to end the stream. Got some lightning right there. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, despite the poor service. You know, if you guys stuck through all that bad service, I really appreciate it a lot. I know it's not fun to watch nothing, so it's just a part of the profession. You know, you lose service for a long time, especially out here. Something like that. You know, obviously other places you're going to lose service, but you're not going to lose service for an hour in a row, right? So, like, you know, if I lost service in the middle of Kansas, I'm probably losing service for 5 or 10 minutes, or it might be spotty. I'm not going to lose it for, you know, an hour. So it's not like we missed out. We didn't miss out on anything. Our target just didn't quite work. So appreciate everyone. Appreciate everybody who tuned in here, guys. Means a lot to me here. We're trying to grow this channel. We did some upgrades to the stream here. Those overlays are going to look better. So those overlays are going to look even better in the future. They're not done yet. This is just kind of the basic, just so I could get something out there. Those overlays are going to look even better. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting on my way here to the target tomorrow. I'll post, how about this? I'll post something on YouTube. So, like, I'll post, I'll type something up and I'll say, hey, you know, I'm chasing today, you know, hey, I'm going home, whatever. So, appreciate you guys here. Kind of a failed chase, but that happens. I like to take you guys along for even the best chases, the worst chases, the ones that are kind of in between. I like to take you guys along for every kind of chase. Not just the slam dunks, but also the risky chases too. The boom or the bust chases, where sometimes it busts, sometimes it booms. Today was a bust. Lately, we've had a lot of booms, so it was we were bound. We've had a couple really bad busts, but we've had a lot of booms lately, so we were bound to have a busted chase. So, all right, guys, everybody, stay safe. Appreciate you guys, and I will probably be back tomorrow. But God bless. God bless you guys. All right. See you next time.